welcome to Andertons TV. I'm the Captain.
And I'm Danish Pete.
Yes, and if you've not watched this channel before, we like to talk about guitar gear and bass gear and other gear as well. Gear.
Just gear.
Now, today we're going to talk about Celestion speakers. Chances are, Pete.
Yes, darling.
If you've ever heard an electric guitar going through an electric guitar amplifier in the last 60, 70 years, that guitar amplifier probably, the laws of percentages, quite possibly would have had a speaker in it made by these guys.
Yeah.
Certainly, if you look at Marshalls, Voxes, Boogies, lots and lots of brands.
Yeah, lots of brands.
Possibly even less so, maybe Fender.
Less so, maybe Fender, but
they had these in. And the speaker, people always talk about, when they're talking about guitar sounds, people sort of go, oh, what pickups have you got, or what valves are you using, or what? And it's like, honestly and truthfully, probably substantially more impactful than pickups and valves and stuff like that is the tone and the way the speaker changes the sound. So what we thought we'd do is a couple of videos. This first one is going to be using the BOSS Katana MkII.
Yeah, very popular.
Yeah, and in a subsequent video, I think we're going to do Fender Hot Rod Deluxe.
Yeah. Maybe
we'll do others, but like really, really super popular selling amps.
Yeah. Well, say below if there was anything you want us to do. We've got the speakers, we can put them in.
We've got 7 speakers here, sorry, that Celestion have sent us. They said it's a good selection of different popular Celestion speakers.
Price rise from down here up to pretty expensive. 225
goes from
quid.
99 quid, I think, is the cheapest one, to 200 and something pounds here.
I thought it was much less than that one.
No, 99 is the cheapest price that we've got. I think there are cheaper Celestion speakers.
I think you can get them for like 15 quid or something.
Well, we're digressing a little bit, but yes, Celestion will often make like OEM Chinese, like if you just need a speaker to be as cheap as possible to go in like a £250 guitar amplifier. But these are all, these are all the sort of the upgrade kind of ones. So we've got 2 BOSS Katanas.
Yes.
In each video, we are going to change one of the speakers in one of these guitar amplifiers to a Celestion speaker, and we'll leave the other Katana with its stock Katana speaker in it.
Yeah.
Then Pete will switch using an AB box between the 2 guitar amplifiers, not knowing which is which. We'll talk about what we like, what we didn't like, with a clean sound, with a driven sound, with a much higher gain sound. Yeah. And we'll go, oh, I like that one, I didn't like. And then, and you can play along too, we'll do the reveal.
Play along at home.
Which one was it?
Yeah.
All of these speakers you can buy from Andertons, or if you live nearer to somewhere else, check with them. But these can be purchased. And in the very first part of this video, we're going to show you how easy it is to change the speaker in a Katana for one of these. There are speakers have impedances, which is a sort of like a load rating or a resistance, if you like. Speakers have to be matched to the amplifier to get the optimum performance out of them. So do check what you're replacing if you decide to go down this route. The Katana 100 uses an 8-ohm speaker.
Yeah.
All of these are 8-ohm speakers. So we've got no problems here.
Exactly. The Katana 50, I believe, is...
Katana 50 is a 4-ohm speaker.
Yeah.
So again, if you want to do the same with your Katana 50, make sure you buy the 4-ohm version of this if it's available. It's a bit not so popular, not so common 4-ohm speakers, so maybe not everything's available 4-ohm. Anyway, that's enough.
Digress.
Okay, let's do Pete.
Yes,
I will socially distance myself somewhere else, and you can change the first speaker.
Let's do it. Right, Lee, I'm on my knees. Ooh. I'm begging, please.
Yes, this is what happens here, basically. Pete does the hard labour. I just sit and watch.
Yeah, that's... So
we're going to show you how easy it is to take the speaker out of the back of a Katana 100.
Yeah,
and then we're going to show you... Let's take the speaker out first and then show them the crimping
Yeah, but I think
issue.
there is a... Because you're looking at this from above here now. So you'll be able to see, if I now take this Celestion speaker here, and if we can get a little zoom in on this bit here, this is what a Celestion speaker look like. This is a standard setup on all the Celestion speakers.
Almost every speaker, I would say.
Almost every speaker. But some speakers they'll do a big one and a small one with little crimps that fits on like that.
Do you know what you say, some speakers? I have never seen that done before I've seen the Katana speaker.
No, and I tell you why. Why? Because normally I can imagine, because they make so many of these, there has to be a simple solution where instead of getting the soldering iron out, you can't faff about with that stuff. You just have these, and the big one goes on the big one, and the little one goes on the little one, and it's easy peasy. So you'll need a kit like this, and we'll demonstrate
you say
it.
That. Whilst Pete's doing that, let me kind of...
Yeah.
So...
I'm going to take these off now so you can see. There we go.
So obviously to connect an amplifier to a speaker, it's a two-core speaker cable, positive and negative.
Yeah.
When we talk about things like phasing issues, that's what happens when the positive and the negative get flipped. As Pete just said, on the Celestion speaker, you've got these, they're called spades. The connectors are spade connectors, and they're about 2 or 3 millimeters wide normally. Some manufacturers will solder the speaker cable directly to those. Others will use these little spades that Pete is showing you. Now, the first thing that we realized when we flipped the Katana over was that BOSS have elected to use a large spade for the positive connection and a small spade for the negative connection, which, as Pete said, I'm sure in the factory makes things faster to do. Celestion only use the large spade connector on their speakers, hence the fact that we quickly ran round to Screwfix, spent about £5 on buying, or was it B&Q?
Yeah.
You can buy these kits on Amazon, any hardware store. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the small spade on the Katana negative connection to a large spade, and it'll make swapping the speakers out easier. You could, of course, if you're handy with a soldering iron, ditch the spades altogether and just solder direct to it. I'm kind of guessing some of you may be put off by this, thinking, oh dear, I don't want to do that. But sort of trust me, this is about as simple a kind of a job. If you can wire a plug, I think you're substantially more qualified than you need to be to do this job.
And I also think that if you want to do more speaker testing or trying out of speakers, instead of soldering every time, it's just an easier thing just to have these and you just put them straight on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just use my little tool here, which comes with the thingy.
Pete's going to use his little tool.
Yeah, I'm going to use my little tool.
Choppity chop!
Choppity chop. I'll see if I can just do that. So crimp the whole thing in one go.
Oh, look at that.
Let's see. I'll just chop it first, actually.
Chop it.
Chop it first, because we won't need that anymore. So that's off.
How much did that kit cost you, Pete?
That was £12 in B&Q.
£12?
Yeah, so, I mean, that was B&Q.
And we got hundreds of them now.
What you can probably do is, you get loads of different ones here, but you can probably get that on Amazon for less than that, or eBay.
I found a pack of 100 large spade connectors at Screwfix for £3.
Yeah, I was there, £3.96.
Just some little health and safety housekeeping things. Notice that we've unplugged the mains. Probably, if you're going to do anything to a piece of electrical equipment, I would strongly suggest that you unplug the mains. And in some instances, leave it for a bit as well, just to discharge. In this particular instance, we're only dealing with speaker cable, so there's no, dangerous current or anything coming down a speaker cable.
There we go. Strip it off. Oh. Slam-a-lam-a ding-dong.
You've obviously got previous experience of stripping, Pete.
Well, yeah, there was one time.
When the gigs dried
up. When the gigs dried up and I needed a bit of money. I like to just bend it over a bit there.
Excellent stuff.
Then let's just have a look and see how that is. That goes in. There we are. And then I got a little...
You got a little crimping tool.
There's a blue one there. So I would expect that's the blue one I'll need to use for that one. So if I do kind of like that, this is great, isn't it?
I wonder what's on when we do the Fender Deluxe one. Let's hope that they've got...
I think they solder them on.
They solder them, do they?
Squeeze it. There we go.
I like soldering. There's something satisfying. But there we go. Look.
So that's it. That's done. It's not rocket science, but it can, as long as you get it done. Now you got two on there.
It's not rocket science. So all you rocket scientists out there, you're fine. Anyway, okay, so can we get the speaker out? So
yeah, we can.
So how many bolts held the speaker in?
So 4 screws.
Is that all?
That's
just
all,
4 screws?
4 screws, Phillips screws, and then you should...
Normal Phillips screw head? No, don't need any special screwdriver or anything?
Yeah, just a completely normal Phillips. You probably want a bit longer one so you can get a bit of, so you can get in there. Some of these amps will have like a cover over here, so you have to take the cover off first, cover off here, then to get some stuff. But this is all glued in. So hopefully it'll
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It'll
Come
slide
on.
straight out.
Come on, BOSS Katana speaker.
Oh no, Lee!
Oh no, Peter!
Look, I had the feeling that they would be sneaky. Okay. Did you hear it make the noise like a katana just then? Shing! Okay. Okay, so
is this really not coming out?
So this is not going to come out like this. So I think now what we need to do is we actually need to take the
you know what?
The speaker out here.
I tell you what, let's show them how to take the chassis out.
Okay.
And let's see how long it takes.
Okay.
And we'll do the first one. And if it takes like 2 seconds, that's what we'll do. And if it takes ages, they're just 2 on the top,
I think
aren't they?
there's 2 on the top, but I think these ones here might be on as well. So again, make sure that you have unplugged this.
Now we're getting into the amp. This is bad if you're doing this with the mains still plugged in.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay,
Oh,
look.
well done, Pete. All right.
I mean, honestly.
Okay, that wasn't that difficult, was it? And
This
actually,
is the only thing.
From a safety point, no, you can get into it from the ends, can't you? So yeah, 100%. Do not do this.
Unplug it.
Unless if it's still plugged in.
Don't put your fingers in there. Just do it
and
like
as
that.
I said, even some electrical equipment needs a little bit of time to discharge. So potentially leave everything for maybe half an hour or whatever.
Discharge is never nice.
So, oh look, they've got little bird boxes on the side of the amplifiers that you can.
Here's the speaker. Here's the BOSS speaker.
Can I see how heavy that is?
Yeah.
That's like a mediumly normal weight kind of magnety speaker.
Yeah.
And you can see, there we go. All right.
Oh, there's some boxes here for the side. Let's get the other speaker
Benny
in.
Hill music. Now we're only going to show you this one speaker being put in. Every other speaker we're going to fit. We're just not going to show you this. As you can see, it doesn't matter what way round the speaker goes, as long as the holes line up and the spades are in the right place.
Because the spades need to be on this side, and it's because they're not very long, those cables. You can then get these ones here, which also come with this kit, which are extender cables. So if you fancy extend the cables, so if you want to extend the cables, you can get the cable and extend it over so it can reach to the other side.
That's amazing. The good news is with Celestion speakers and for Katana replacements, they've all got the holes in the correct place. Now, I've got to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure that is a universally used screw hole positioning, so I can't guarantee. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Celestion, you're fine.
Nope.
But I don't want to say, I would triple check if you're going to put a different speaker in your BOSS Katana that the screw holes are in the same place as the speaker you're taking out. You'll notice there are 2 spades on each side. It doesn't matter which one you connect it to. They are there for when you're using speaker cabinets that have got more than one speaker in. That's how they connect the speakers up, basically. But they're just, you can connect to either. Going through these speakers, some of the ones that we're going to use are what are called neodymium magnet speakers. So they're actually much lighter than normal speakers. I'm not going to go too much into all the specs and stuff of speakers, but if you're looking for a way to reduce the weight of your guitar amplifier, an effective way of removing a few pounds of weight is to go over to a Neo speaker. So that might be something you might want to look at. But
there we go.
There we go. Here we are. One BOSS Katana
with a vintage 30 in it.
Woo!
Shall we do let's do it. Test it. Good.
Yes. Lastly, sorry everybody. What I am going to do before Pete plugs in is I am going to jiggle which way round the amps are. So Pete won't know which one has got which speaker in, and neither will you. So you can play along as to what you prefer, and then we'll do the reveal at the end of each segment. So here we go. Right.
Okay. This is interesting.
Okay, come on. I've set this. We're on the clean sound.
So what's that? That's one.
I don't mind which way you round it. Fun enough.
Let's call that
even
one,
as
that
it
two.
stands, even I can't remember which one's in which one.
Let's call that number
really
1.
looking.
That's green. Well, that's number 2, and that's red. On my AB switch here from Layla.
I've put it on the clean mode, and I've put every single control at 12 o'clock, and I've put it on the 50 watt mode, and I'll explain why we need to talk about wattages and things like power handling at some point in this video. So go. What, this is 1 and this is 2.
Yeah, and that's green, that's red. I'm playing one of the Andertons Road Worn Stratomarcasers in just
it's a special run.
Special run.
Information in
below.
And we'll jump over to something with humbuckers as well.
In a minute, yeah. So here we go. Here's the G chord, because that we know what that sounds like. We're on this one. So we just, without further ado, just jump to the next one. This is now number 2. Wow! It's so much more clear. I'm just going to jump back to 1. So much more muffled. More low end, more top end from where I'm sitting. More mid-range. Lack of the top and the low end in this one.
Now,
like you won't believe.
We're going to go through some driven tones and different guitars. the weird things with speakers, okay? So first and foremost, every speaker has an efficiency rating. The more efficient the speaker is, the more volume it will create with the same amount of power going into it. Wow. So if you're hearing volume differences between two speakers when the settings are all the same, that'll be the efficiency rating.
Yeah.
The second one is absolutely some speakers sound better with gain, some sound better with clean, some just work well for different types of genres. So even though you might go, oh, I definitely like the sound of this one better than this one on the clean sound, don't just wait until every sound is done. And quite often I think with speakers, it's a compromise of going, okay, I liked this one better for this sound, but this one better for that sound. So where's the
middle ground? That's when you can start going into your tubes. If it's a tube amp, you've got 34s or 6L6s or 6V6s, because matching that with the right speaker.
Anyway, okay. So
I mean, I prefer number 2 on the clean channel. It just sounds much better to me.
Too.
So here we go. Here's number 1 again, just for.
Can I be honest with you? I mean, we know that the first speaker we put in was a Celestion Vintage 30.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not a big fan of the Celestion Vintage 30 for clean sounding amplifiers.
Yeah, it's more.
So I'm going to guess at this stage that that's the Vintage 30 and that's the Katana speaker.
That's what I'm going to guess as well. That was my guess, but I'm not sure, man.
But
I'm not
we'll
sure.
See.
Right, gain?
Gain from a pedal or just from a next channel up at the amplifier?
Let's just try a pedal first and see what happens. So that's just a Durple, 45 quid here. Everything at 12 again. So we are back at, let's start number 1. So back to here, clean. Back to that with this clean. Nice and fat. Still like that better. I mean, that's set medium gainish.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do with that.
You wouldn't normally, I mean, assuming we've even got this the right way around, you wouldn't normally associate a Celestion Vintage 30 going into a Fender Deluxe type combo.
No, it doesn't.
It's Marshall, like Slash uses the Vintage 30.
Yeah.
So it's very Marshall-y, gainy. Lots of boutique amps use Vintage 30s. Wasn't it all the Bad Cat stuff?
Yes, but they've removed the thing.
Yeah, but it's still basically a Vintage 30.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, so let's go to the crunch tone. I wonder if I might just drop the volume down a little bit. Crunch tone, again, still leaving everything the same, but let's just get a level check here. What's the...
Sorry, level check. Here's number 1.
Okay, so gain on halfway, volume a little bit less just because the crunch channel is louder than the clean channel. Let's have a little listen between the two now.
Sorry, so we're back on that one.
I don't personally have a preference between the two. They just sound different.
Yeah. Let me
But,
go.
what's your?
Let's go back pickup
Yeah.
again. I'm just going to go back to that. I still prefer that.
Yeah,
to
a
be
lot
honest.
more mid-range in that.
Much more mid-range
At
than
this
that.
stage, let's change guitar to a humbucker, do a
Yeah.
little bit more on that crunch thing, and then I'll just go to the brown sound, and we'll stay with the humbucker.
The prune.
And yeah, kind of apologies that this is going to be potentially a long video because we're just going to do the same with 7 different speakers.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Here is the. This is the L7
It is from Sire.
from Sire, the new Sire Lyra Carlton guitar. So let's jump back on that. On the back pickup with everything on full. Sorry, back over. There's still fat. There's still got
still
more
fatter,
low
isn't it?
end in,
Yeah,
in that one, and that's more mid range. Maybe I actually prefer that one for this
I'm
sound.
not sure now.
I prefer that one for the humbucker.
Brown sound. I'm going to skip the lead sound. I'm just going to go straight to the brown sound on both. I'm not using the variations, by the way. I'm just using setting 1. Is that volume okay, or do I need to drop?
Oh, that's very close.
Well, we better get on and do the reveal.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the gainier it gets, the more I like this one.
Yeah.
The cleaner it is, the more I like
Okay,
this
so
one.
V30 in that one then.
Probably. Happy? Have you guessed?
Are you happy? Have you guessed?
Amp number 1, amp number 2, what do you think? And the reveal is... Yes, no surprise. Okay, Vintage 30 in that one. Katana speaker in that one. Vintage 30 is... Where's my bit of paper?
You had it. You just had it.
Right here by my feet. Vintage 30 is £99. So it's actually it's one of the cheaper ones that we're doing today. So there you go, £99 speaker change for there, and those are the results.
I personally, I probably wouldn't.
I'm not surprised you wouldn't. For your,
for my kind of style.
Yeah.
Anyway, onwards. Okay, we're back now.
Here we
the
go.
Second one.
Amp numero A. Again, don't know which is which at this stage.
Number 2. Number 1 again for me.
Now, why did number 1 also sound like faster?
They were quite close though.
But I thought number 2...
What you mean, like maybe turn the reverb down a bit on both, please. Just a quarter inch of a nats.
There we go.
I prefer that.
This one.
Yeah.
I prefer. We are unanimous.
Okay, so I'm just going to go.
one.
That was on the. I was on position 4 there. I'm just going to go position 5 quick.
Now I tell you what I have
That's
done.
that one.
The only difference between the first the clip and the second clip is I'm now running the Katanas in their 100-watt modes rather than the 50-watt modes. But they're both exactly the same. It's clean mode, all the EQ flat. gain and volume both halfway up. It's just everything's flat.
Let's just go again quickly on the neck pickup. It's a nice tone, but I prefer that one.
I prefer this one.
Yeah, that's nice. It's nicer than the one before, anyway. Okay, so let's try some. Go back to 1. Put the gain on. 2. I like it, but I still prefer that more low end.
That was it. That wasn't. That's not. This isn't gain coming from the amp. This is
gain coming from the Dane. Not from the Dane, from the Durple.
The Durple Dane.
Durple Dane. I still prefer that one, I must admit.
Should we go crunchy now?
Let's go crunchy now.
Okay, so this is now crunchy now. From the amplifier. I can't remember where I need to set the volume levels here. It's about 1/3 of the way.
Yeah,
it was,
wasn't it?
So.
You might want to take them down a bit. Now you're on 100 watts mode.
There we go.
It's way too brittle.
It's got a harshness at the top
harsh
end.
top end, yeah.
Nice
I don't think I like that very much.
We need.
I mean, I'm sure that's the boss speaker in that one.
Still, do you?
Yeah, because it's just maybe I'll just play it enough.
What did we? I mean, again, I don't want to lead anyone into one way or the other, but the speaker we're now using is the. Actually, are we telling people what the speakers? We might as well, because we know. So one of these speakers is called a Neo Copperback, and the other obviously is the Katana speaker.
Yeah.
And the Neo Copperback, so it's first of all it's a neodymium magnet. It's much lighter than the one that came out the Katana. And I believe the copper reference is a Voxy kind of vibe. So again,
I can hear that.
I mean, wouldn't it be interesting if that's not what it is? But if you're thinking that this has got the Copperback in it, because you're hearing a Voxy thing,
it's Voxy top end in it, you know.
Yeah.
And that rated really high, isn't it? That's like a 250
watt speaker. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. Right. So that's exactly the same set.
Got that Voxy
hump. Now I've said it, you're never going to be able to. I'm pretty sure you're right. I think this one sounds like that.
I'll prefer that with this.
Do you? Is one of the amp models or variations within a Katana supposed to be Voxy?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know if there is or not.
There's so much going on.
I'll try the variation of the crunch channel.
Okay, so I'm staying on the 2 then. Back to that one. See, now that's breaking up in a fishy kind of way I don't like. I prefer that one. I like that better now. From where I'm sitting. You see, that's kind of a not so great kind of.
I don't know.
I can't explain it.
I've liked this one on every sound.
It sounds
so
grainy.
Far. So I'm going brown sound. Again, gain halfway up, volume turns down. Oh yeah.
There's that one. I prefer that one on this one as well. I prefer it. It's that sounds grainy. Does that make sense? Compared to that now sounds grainy with this guitar.
I mean, this is the crazy thing, obviously. Where Pete's sitting, it's going to sound different to where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest difference of sitting where I am compared to Pete will probably be more about the top end. But yeah,
I get more top end.
Yeah, I'm generally liking this one more than this one on all the sounds.
But I'm not talking about the. Is grainy a word in sound?
Yeah, like scratchy. You mean,
yeah. So where are we here? It's very close.
Seems like it cuts more.
Through better.
Should we see what's in what?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, guess now. Amp number one is. Amp number one is the Katana speaker.
I knew it.
Amp number two is a Celestion Neo Copperback, or Copperback Neo, whichever way around it is.
Copperback Neo. Copperback Neo.
Okay, let's try the third speaker.
Do it. Okay, here we go. We are back in a room. And
speaker number three.
Yeah, without further ado, here's the G chord on the first amp. It's the second amp.
I like that one.
That's really difficult to say what is what here.
This is brighter.
Yeah.
So the number two has got more presence, but not necessarily pleasant presence. Number one has got juicy, organic, big fat bottomy. I like it.
I mean, where I'm sitting, that one. Yeah. That's the boss one. That's the boss one.
You still think that? Can you try position 4?
Yeah.
Like
back to one. There's something that I like in that there. That's number one now. This is number two. There's something that I like in this one, but it's so difficult now actually to tell if which is which.
Put the Durple on.
Man, holy mother, Durple.
I think that one sounds louder.
So that one, number one. They're very close. They're very close.
I think with the distortion pedal on it, I might be leaning
towards
more
this one.
This one.
Yeah, there's something about that I like, but
So
I think that's the other speaker, which is
Right, so this one we've gone with probably in the last 5 years the best-selling Celestion speaker there is.
I
which
really like that
is
speaker.
The Creamback.
Yeah.
And this is the heavy magnet Creamback. And Pete and I were debating before, whilst we were screwing the speaker in, as to I actually prefer the medium magnet Creamback. Pete prefers the heavy magnet Creamback.
Well, I see that depends on the amp as well,
Again,
because I think the heavy magnet's got more low end.
Yes, it has.
Than the medium magnet, but you can compensate from just putting. But funny enough, there's more low end in that than there is in this. So which gets me to thinking, oh, that might be the Creamback in this one. But then on the drive section, it's like it sounds really familiar to me.
Well,
which means that's why. Back to this one. Clearer,
This is 100% the first one where I've literally no idea which is which.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
Okay, so let's go to the crunch. No, still that guitar.
Yeah, stick with this one.
Crunch
Stick with this one. Sorry.
Sound. Oh, crikey. A little bit less volume, perhaps, because it might be crazy loud. But they're still the same. So crunch setting, halfway. Volume, gain is halfway up. Volume is about maybe just over a third of the way up.
Okay, and we're back on the first one. Back to that one. Much brighter. Back to one.
Can you do that big chuggy E like Stevie Ray kind of?
It's number two. Back to number one. There's that graininess that I'm talking about again in the gain of that speaker, which lead me to think that that is the BOSS speaker, because it's like watching a TV and it's not sharp enough for the ear. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I think this is where I will go with your superior experience of kind of, loud guitar tone.
Well, isn't that just for everyone to have an opinion on it? But the only way I can explain that is to watch something on YouTube in 480 and then clicking it up to 4K.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a great analogy for sound,
It is
isn't
a
it?
good analogy.
Actually, I never thought about that before, but I don't know, maybe there's somebody out there going, actually, that is what this is, so that would be great if you could let us know. That one, back pickup. Listen to that. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Can you hear what I'm talking about? Just when I'm playing these. That's that one. Now to the other one. It's like the paper. It's like the paper is flapping.
Can you play like a D chord, but like strum one string at a time? Just so.
Okay, yes, I can, Lee, I can. So let's go back to that one. You just want like a chord on the back pickup and one at a time. Okay, next one. There's something, I mean, it's difficult to get a D chord in tune. Any guitar is difficult to get in tune completely. But it's something about the way that, maybe it's the paper, maybe it's the glue around the rim, maybe it's many things, but it's 480 versus 1080p.
Right, going to brown sound. Brown sound, here we go.
Okay, so here is the back. prefer that. I prefer that because, again, I'm saying it again, is that it's just more defined. I think that's the Celestion. It's more defined for me.
I suppose we need to reveal. I mean, I genuinely.
Slightly out tune, sorry.
I'm going to say I prefer that one.
You prefer that one? Maybe it's where I'm sitting.
I think I just prefer the fact... I mean, this one just sounds louder. And
not where I'm sitting, it doesn't sound
really
louder. Yeah.
Maybe there's more back projection coming out of it. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
The split decision.
Because you're listening to...
But you're saying you think that's the Celestion and that's the Katana.
Yeah, and I honestly don't know, but I do think because of that, because I know that speaker very well.
Yeah.
So I think that's that one.
Right.
But man, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Hey, what can you do?
Here we go. Ready? I'm going back. Okay, that's the Katana. That's the Celestion. So fair play, Mr. Pete.
I knew
fair
that.
play, Mr. Pete. Although again,
I preferred that overall on this one, even with the clean tones as well. It's just, and it's funny you don't get to hear that till you actually compare it to a speaker that you know really well. The first two we've had, I don't really know those speakers very well. But I know this well.
According to my scribbled notes on the floor, the G12H75 heavy magnet Creamback is £115. So again, it's one of the more affordable, if that's the right word, or one of the less expensive speakers. The one before, by the way, that Neo Copperback was, which I forgot to say to you, that was £199.
Was it?
Yeah, my gut feeling with that is if you probably had an AC30 with two big blueback speakers in them and it was too heavy for you, you replace them with those and it makes a big difference to the weight. But hey,
it would be interesting to have an amp where you can actually this is an AC30, this is you can actually, but anyway, that's a much longer video.
Right,
let's move on. Rightly,
let's go. We are halfway through with the fourth speaker,
which is
we're telling people at the beginning, are we?
Shall we? Or no, let's just do some tones first.
Let's just do some tones.
Okay, so tones here is amp number one. On the neck pickup, amp number two. I like that better on this pickup.
Yeah, wasn't that weird? Just...
Oh, maybe not. Oh man. Oh, maybe not. That's like, what? It's just something, and then
a teeny bit different, but not. But like your brain's going, I don't know which one I prefer.
These are too close to. They're much closer than the other.
Yeah,
we've done.
These are ones actually. This one sounds better on certain chords, and this one sounds better on other chords.
That's right. If you like to play on these two pickups, in this fourth pickup says in D C sharp minor, D flat, then we prefer. You should get that speaker.
This one sounds like bigger.
Yeah, I would say that's the Katana speaker now, but I'm not, We are getting to that point now where I know that sound, which is, again,
I thought I would have
definition, not less definition.
As in, given that we're now, we've been doing this for what, like 2 hours or something now. I thought I'd be able to tell you the Katana speaker every single time, but I wonder if it's because we stopped for like 20 minutes in between each one to change the speaker. Somehow your ears sort of, recalibrate back to sort of zero, and it's hard to know again. But can we hear it with the Durple?
Let's get the Durple on there. So we're back on the one. That's got more low end and top end. That's a bit more mid-range, isn't it? I like that best.
I think we've heard that sound so many times already today now, because I think that one is the Katana.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyway, we don't know.
Stay on
Just
here.
so you know, the speaker is a Celestion G12K100.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what amp you would typically find that in, or who that's really aimed at. It's not a model that I'm
not
particularly
particularly
familiar with.
that. I'm familiar with the one that, what's the other one called? The G12 Heritage?
I want to get my bit of paper out without looking in the back.
What's the Heritage one? John Mayer's got some of his.
It's just called a G... No, sorry. It's just called a G12K.
Yeah. And there is a G1275 Heritage or something.
Yeah,
anyway,
there is, which I don't believe, unless of course it's
don't
this
have that one. No, it's not that one.
It's not this one. Okay,
No,
well,
it looks different.
That. So yeah, it's just got a
that's
G12K. It's £99.
Okay.
So it's one of the more. It's the most affordable one. Right, let's try it now. So we've done it with pedals.
Yeah.
We're going
Back
over
to
the crunch tone on both with the Strat still. Go.
Creamback Heavy Magnet was still my favorite. Here we go. Not a fan. Ah! They've got the same kind of quality in that sort of the.
I think this is much brighter from where I'm sitting.
No, that's. They sound very similar. They sound really, really similar. It's almost like you could say, "Oh, that might just be a rebranded kind of." Or
maybe
that's kind
we
of
put the two Katana speakers back in. No, we haven't.
No, we haven't, because I can see it right there.
Yeah.
Hang on, I was on the back pickup as well, so. That on the gain, on this pickup here.
Change the amp. Change the guitar.
Again, it's that.
It's a bit.
480.
It's a bit sort of raspy at the top end, isn't it? Like raspy, reedy sort of sounding. But I quite like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're back to A. Very similar.
This sounds like the vintage 30 again, doesn't it? Much more focused in the mid-range.
Pushes right in the. That would be better in a live environment, because it's.
The other thing that I think is going to be
right?
absolutely bonkers when we listen to this back is the sound that the close mics will get compared to what we're hearing in the room will also be different as well.
Completely different.
So there might be one of these where we're going, meh, and like you guys are going, it's amazing,
Yeah,
or the other way around.
About?
It's like.
But just let's do that that whole sort of chord again. Much more mid-range in that one. Got that raspiness again. I recognise that.
When Rob was last here, he was talking about how some amplifiers sound like real amplifiers, and then other model amplifiers sound like an amplifier trying to be a real amplifier.
Yeah.
I think this speaker sounds more like a real amplifier as opposed to this one sounding like a speaker trying to sound like a real amplifier.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. That you actually get real speaker, because it's not. That's a real speaker, but anyway, whatever.
Yeah, it's all real.
It's all real speakers.
So, brown sound.
Brown sound. They're very similar.
You know what I'm going to say?
They're very similar.
I want that speaker, but in a 212 or a 412.
Yep.
And I think that I feel the same with the Vintage 30 as well.
Yeah.
In a 212 or a 412, because the speakers give you the punch, and the bigger cabinet and the four of them together or two together give you maybe the bass end that you feel like you want.
But the Vintage 30 is, for me, the weakest speaker yet.
So far out of the way.
So far,
okay.
that and the Copperback.
Copperback, I would say the Copperback
nice
was the most inappropriate.
Yeah.
Rather than the weakest.
So inappropriate.
Yeah,
But
I didn't mind the Vintage 30. Okay, well, look, so we're
talk
guessing,
about that in the end.
we think this is the Katana and this is the Celestion.
Yeah.
And you're preferring what, Katana for clean and Celestion for dirty?
Again, it's kind of that tone, but I think again, like the other ones, I think if you just dial in a little bit more bass end and top end on any of these amps on the clean tone, then you'll be able to get whatever the Katana's trying to do.
But then presumably you could, if you go down that route, you could dial more bass and treble into the...
Yeah, and you'll just be able to save,
anyway,
you'll save it at whatever.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Celestion G12 K100 in this one and Katana in this one. How did you get on?
How did you get on?
How did you get on?
Yeah, let's move on to... Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
There we go. We're back. This is the next one.
Speaker number
1.
5.
Oh yeah, speaker number 5. Here's amp number 1.
4. 5? 4.
Oh, okay. I think it's 4. Is it 4 or 5 now? Number 4. Number 5. Number 5.
5.
Woo! Here's a chord. On a neck pickup. Here's amp number 2. That's difficult.
Do it again.
Back.
This might be the first one where I think the one I prefer isn't the Katana.
Really?
I think.
Okay, back to number 1.
I think this is Katana. I think this is the Celestion, and I prefer this one. I don't know.
Hang on,
this is the one I prefer.
Second amp. First amp. Second amp.
Oh man, now I definitely prefer this one, but
that's
now
the Katana.
Now I don't know if
I think it's the Katana. It's got that low. What? That, I mean, in the room, they're really super close. Let's try some gain. M2. Feels like that's slightly louder.
I like
for me.
this one.
Can you turn up that just ever so slightly? Yeah.
Sounds more natural to me. This one does.
That's I don't know. I mean, I think that's just from doing the clean. Maybe that is the katana. Honestly, I'm confused now. I'm really confused.
Okay.
Go on to the gain.
Crunch, crunch, go.
Okay, first one. That was a bit loud, that one.
Yeah. I do like this. They're very similar, aren't they?
They sound so similar. Let me just do it. Let me. Have I got ear fatigue?
Possibly.
Because that sounds so similar to me. They're
very similar sounding.
Really struggle here.
Probably the most similar pair.
I'm really struggling.
Yeah. Can we change guitars?
We can. Okay. So we're back now on the tire. I prefer that on the gain again, and I think that now is the guitar, the katana speaker.
I've liked this one better on every sound so far.
Really? That was that one. This is a... Shit. The katana amp. I can hear that. That's, you know,
right.
It's
there we go.
I think I could be completely wrong.
Sound.
I could be completely wrong. They're the most similar so far. I mean, I still...
Maybe on that maximum gain sound, I might have slightly preferred that one.
Yeah, I think that's the... Whatever it is, I think that's the katana.
What do you think, everybody in YouTube land? Should we do the big reveal? So you think this is katana, you think this is Celestion, do you?
Yeah.
Correct, Mundo! Now, this time round, we used... You can just remind myself.
A neodymium, a Neo Cream, a G12 Neo.
G12 Creamback Neo. So that is the again using the neodymium magnets. So this will be the one that makes a reasonable difference to the weight of the overall.
It's super
amplifier.
light, super duper light. And actually, that's I think now. I've probably said that before, but that's probably the one that's closest. It's closest. Yes. It's got a slightly bit of that, what I'm talking about, that it's not full resolution.
I do
Does that
feel,
make sense, full resolution?
I do feel like... I don't think I've heard a Celestion speaker on a clean sound yet that I've liked as much as the Katana.
No, but I tell you why. I think for why, it's because that speaker is designed to be sounding good at home at low volumes. So they'll put in low end and high end into the speaker. That's just my perception of the Katana.
High volume in here though, aren't we?
Yeah, this is quite loud. You wouldn't play this loud at home, but I think that it's just they make them so it compensates for that bit.
Speaking of volume, let's give you the line here. Now, today we have used a guitar amplifier that can do 100 watts into 8 ohms. And we've used a variety of speakers from the lowest power rating, a 60 watt one, up to the highest power rating of a 250 watt one. Yeah. So here's the common sense bit, and here's the legal bit, if you like. So the common sense bit, it says, with a 100 watt amplifier and a single 60 watt speaker, the chances of you blowing it up are minimal. Yeah. You would have to dime the amplifier, everything on 10, and play hours and hours and hours of your craziest Meshuggah kind of riffs to get to the point where the coil on the speaker might, get to the point where it might burn out.
Yeah.
So I guess if you want to be super safe, if you decide to go for a vintage 30 or one of the 60 watt speakers, you've got a 50 watt mode on your Katana, you can use it in that all day long, you're fine. If you use it in the 100 watt mode, just take a common sense approach. If you're just playing normal guitar sounds like we're playing today,
it'd be fine.
Problemo.
Yeah.
But if you are going to run everything at 10, or maybe it's a rehearsal studio and you don't know what people are going to be doing, then maybe err on the side of caution, because the legal bit is your warranty on your speaker is obviously void if you use it with an amp that can produce a lot more power than the speaker can.
I doubt that it says 100 watts on these, and I can imagine that is the max peak.
It is.
And that's when it goes like this, and you get a peak like that, and that peaks out at 100 whatever. The rest of it is never 100 watts. You could
put a 500 watt amplifier into a 50 watt speaker for a very short period of time, and it all.
Yeah, but hey, I'll run I put the Kemper into a, like one of these caps here, which got two, Creamback 65 watts in it. So, and that's got 600 watt power amp in it, D class D. No, and it's absolutely fine.
I just thought it was like, hey.
It's just so you know.
Just so you know, kids. Right.
Move on. Next. Back in the room.
Penultimate one.
So penultimate means the last to second to last, isn't it?
It's the one before the last one.
Amp number 1. We don't know what it is. Here's a G chord. Holy flip. Is that closer than the other one?
Bit more of an extended range on this one, maybe.
Is there though?
But the tonal kind of curve is very similar.
Tonal curve. You have to see a doctor if you've got tonal curve.
Quite muffled sounding, actually.
That's why that leads me to believe that that's the Katana. Let's try with some gain. Again, that just needs to come up a little bit. It's in volume, I think. Just tiny bit. More top and bottom end, more mid-range in that one, but it's so close again. I think I prefer that one.
Completely not sounding like that from where I'm sitting.
Really?
I like that one better.
I prefer that one, I must admit. Yeah, I prefer that
one. More tighter and more focused, I think. Right. Goodness me.
Tighter and more focused.
Crunch.
Okay. Holy moly, okay. Oh! bit loud now.
It is a bit loud.
Yeah, a bit louder now. Now they sound really similar.
Yeah,
and
hard to know.
Now I prefer that one.
Yeah.
Now it's spiky and gritty. They're very similar. Very similar.
Very similar. I mean, either the issue here is that we're just going deaf at the end of the day, or these are the most similar sounding so far.
They're very similar.
What do you
Let's
think?
go back to that one. Now it's muffled again.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know. You can hear the rasp.
That's the
can't
katana.
you?
Yeah. See
I
what
think
I'm
I'm
saying?
tuning into that rasp now that you don't like on the gain sound.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just got
A runny nose.
It's all a cook.
You can hear it now. It's the first speaker that that I think I can hear the rasp.
I can
hear
tell
the rasp. The difficult second album.
Hear the rasp. It's the 780p man versus the 1080p, or even better when it's really close. 1080i versus 1080p. It's so close, but you know that the I you're gonna it's not good enough. So
Play some lead guitar.
You know what I mean?
I like that one better. This one better.
I think the volume is slightly off. The volume is slightly off, but again, I can hear as soon as it gets to those.
It's really difficult but the volume is set the same.
Yeah,
so
but
I think it is the speaker is just sounding louder. Isn't it? One of the speakers.
That's why I prefer when I have a katana, run on clean channel with as much headroom as you can, and then use an overdrive pedal.
Let's go brown.
Let's go brown. Again, I prefer that one.
So we're calling it Katana, Celestion, and we're just saying overall this one better, or are you saying this one better clean, this one better dirty?
See, I think if you're leaning towards if you're playing your katana,
the dirt, third album.
Absolutely, I would say to that one, leaning towards the dirt. I would say almost the majority of the Celestion speakers we've heard are better at gain tones.
Yes.
For me, on the katana than the katana speaker is. The katana clean, it's great.
Wow.
But
that's the katana, that's the Celestion. No!
It's
not. That's the katana, that's the Celestion.
Yeah. I think we're tuned in now, aren't we?
You'd like to think that we should be.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot to tell you what this speaker was, and it is a Celestion Classic Lead 80, which I think that's like from 150 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm
80,
sure they used to put those in things like the old Marshall valve states and stuff.
It sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good.
Didn't it? Anyway, right.
Next.
Onwards. Last one, Mr. Pete. And I tell you what, I don't know which one's which, but I will tell the audience now that the Celestion alternative in this particular switcheroo
Yeah.
is the dearest one.
Yeah, it's
So
it's more than the amp, isn't it? Or
No, it's more than it's about the same price as a Katana 50 combo. It's not quite as much as a Katana 100 combo. So this, the Celestion alternative in this one is the Alnico Cream.
yeah,
So think of
Creamback.
yes, think of the early sort of Celestion speakers that we used in Vox amplifiers. You know, the famous bluebacks and all that kind of stuff.
Grey Bulldog.
So different magnet, much more expensive than normal traditional speakers. But if you've ever heard a AC30 with a couple of blueback, you know, Alnicos in them,
the Goldback,
just
the Goldback is insane. But the Goldback, I've got one in a 1x12 with my anyway.
We've
and
blown this out. Now
anyway.
it's going to sound worse than the
Yeah, hopefully.
Katana. So same again. Then here we go. Clean.
Let's see, clean.
Well, if that's not the Celestion, then I'm going home.
It's not Lee. That's the Celestion. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now.
But is there a
think
big
it
volume
is.
difference here? Hang on.
All I can hear is I think. Oh my god. It okay.
I think someone had knocked a couple of the controls.
No,
here,
I just honestly think. I mean, I love that sound. But that's the Celestion, because I think the problem with those speakers are that they need the tunes and they need the volume and they.
Well, we don't know yet, but if that's the Katana speaker in there, i.e. the one that is free with the amplifier, for the clean sound, every single one, the Katana has won it for me.
Apart from the Creamback 70, the 75 one was very close. I mean, but it's just, they nailed it. But this. Yeah, I want to say that, but that's just this Katana speaker.
Do you think that's Katana?
Yeah, because I know the sound now.
I'm gonna EQ
do some
this.
top end on you. Too much. That's the best setting. See? Now we're talking. See, now that is great.
But I've put probably 20% more volume on.
Yeah.
I've put the bass at 3 o'clock, taken some mid-range out and put the treble at like 2 o'clock.
And I tell you what, now it sounds much better.
Right, what about if I do that to this one?
Wait. See that? Okay,
But
so
now
you
I've
do,
done the
okay.
same, so I've put the extra volume in.
Okay. Now that gets harsh in the top end. It's not that great.
I still
mean, they've nailed that speaker.
I think they've
Katana has nailed that speaker.
Can I just look now and put us out of our misery? And
No,
then,
I want to hear what it's gain. I want to hear
all
what
right,
it sounds
okay,
for a bit of gain.
Flat again.
Okay. Okay.
Derple on it. I don't know what it is. This is, I mean, I'm just telling you now because I can't lie. I've just spotted the to be honest, the cream,
It's
Alnico
big, it's
is
a big one.
massive. The magnet,
And
on
it is the Alnico
and it's
over there, isn't
next to impossible. So I've just literally. So we haven't even done. Okay, so you're. This is the Katana one. This is the Creamback one.
It just blows my mind.
What did I say it was called? Not Cream. Alnico Cream.
Yeah, it blows my mind because I know how good those speakers are. Do you remember we tested them in some other cabinets?
Yeah.
And you had the cream, we had the gold, and I've got the gold one. And I love the gold one. Beyond, I want to try the Katana I want to put two of those speakers into here to see what it's like because they nailed that.
They've just completely nailed it.
What I don't like is the gain sounds from it. Well, I do not like any of the gains.
So let's just right.
Not that I don't like it, but I prefer the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like when it sounds 1080i or whatever.
Distortion's always sounded better with 480.
No, it sounds worse. I mean, I like the gain. The other. Anyway.
Right.
I'm rambling now.
Okay, so we're going to go to the crunch mode on both amps.
God, man. Honestly.
Okay, go.
It's louder that now as well.
Just so you know, it absolutely isn't. I'm having to drive this one quite a lot harder than this one.
That's
to
a
get
90-watt
volume.
speaker as well, isn't it?
I wonder if that's an Alnico thing. Is that a particularly
It's like Alnico.
Inefficient?
It's like magnets are like old Alnico.
But is it like typically an inefficient type of magnet to use? So you would expect to have to drive it? I don't actually know that. Scientific people will know that.
It's got that raspiness again. Where that one doesn't.
Do you think you'd get a bit of ear fatigue playing, high volumes and and a bit more gain on the Katana? But I'm.
If you're a gainy guy, I would change the speaker in the Katana. If you're a clean guy, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going down to that.
Stick the L7 through it. I mean, I'm. This has not panned out quite how
me neither.
I thought it would, or hoped it would. Obviously, I guess from Andertons' point of view, we're looking to do a video like this and go, yay! Everyone's going to run out and buy a £100 Celestion to put in their BOSS Katana. But
I tell you what, it's going to be interesting in putting them into in a tube amp, like a Hot Rod Deluxe. I think that would be the interesting bit to see because that has a real speaker in it, which is a Celestion, and I want to take one of those out and I want to stick that in the Hot Rod Deluxe.
Well, I think again,
as well.
what this is potentially showing is that none of the Celestions that we've tried today have been custom made for a Katana.
No.
Whereas that has been custom made for a Katana. So to a certain extent, you can kind of see that and I guess the great thing with off the back of the success of Katana, they don't need to just buy an off-the-shelf speaker. They sell so many thousands and thousands of these. They can go and design their own speakers.
Like Kemper Cone.
Yeah.
They've designed a speaker with Celestion, I think it was, and it's designed for using in that environment. So anyway,
right, let's try it. Here we go.
Very similar.
Almost all the Celestions have had a fuller sound when you're playing lead notes, up past the 12th,
and it's cleaner.
fret.
It's cleaner, it's more defined in all of them. Right, so Lee, conclusion time. I think for me, the gain on 95% of the Celestion is much better. even the crunch and the gain, I think it sounds better. And it's going to be interesting to go back and listen to the recordings of it, because as Taylor said, actually, he thought they sounded much different from on the mics than in the room, where it sounds much more the same when I'm playing it here. I don't know if it's worth doing the swap if you want to pay the money. I think the Creamback, the cheaper Creambacks, so the
just the heavy magnet one,
the neodymium or the are my two favorites. Although that speaker sounds great in in tube amps, because I know that sounds amazing.
It'll be really interesting, and I don't really know how we get that across, like room sound versus mic sound. If the sentiment in the comments section is that people are preferring the Celestions a lot as it go through, then it would perhaps lead me to conclude that what BOSS have done is a brilliant job of voicing the amp for the room.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think they do have, as you see with a lot of these small amps, they're used home, whether it be the Blackstar ID Core or the HT or whatever it is, or the small speakers, small amps that are, or the Fenders, Mustangs, the GTX, all of those sound great when you're sitting right in front of them. They're low volume, it sounds big, fat, and full. And we take them out next to a drum and a bass player and maybe a horn section. You might as well put it in the bin, because it won't cut through. So I think
I was surprised with. I think the only speaker that I really thought was just a pointless was the Copperback.
Yeah,
because I kind of think it's just not fit that. It's amp. Not for an amp that's trying to be Fendery or Marshally.
No, not at all. But it was interesting to try. I mean, they make 100 speakers or something, don't they?
I thought the Vintage 30, which is probably Celestion's most famous speaker.
I didn't like that at all.
Well, and I'm with you in the sense of whenever I've tested that before, for me, Vintage 30s sound best in bigger cabinets, in 212s, 412s, loud with gain.
Yes.
And then they sound great.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put one in a 112. No. And funnily enough, I remember because it's such a famous speaker, you'll find often people like Blackstar and Fender or stuff will do we've done our limited edition HT5 or whatever with Celestion Vintage 30.
And that one's got two in it.
And I'm just like,
I think it's got the
that's okay in that.
It's got a professional and the.
But I wouldn't put it in put it in a 112.
No.
And then of the ones that I did like, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna throw it out there in the sense, for me, if I was using this Katana 100 at home, I don't think I'd bother changing any of them.
No.
Because I would play predominantly clean with an overdrive pedal.
Yeah.
If I was in a metal band or a rock band and I was gigging with my Katana 100, then maybe I would.
Yeah, I think
they're not mentally expensive. I mean, most of all the speakers I think we showed you today were somewhere between 100 and 200 quid. So it's like going and buying a good pedal, isn't it? It's that kind of money.
Exactly. See, that's what it is, isn't it? People will spend 200 quid on a pedal any day, like just once a month, boom, boom, boom. But actually, when they change the sound even more than a pedal would do. But is it worth it? That's up to you. What do you think? Comment in the comment section. I think that's where we need to go with it, isn't it? Really. Because it's just...
And this is just the Katana. The issue is, if we've done... I bet you when we do the Hot Rod Deluxe version of this, same 7 speakers, we'll have completely different opinions.
Completely different.
And
Tubes
I bet you
if we put
them in a Marshall cabinet, we'd have completely different as well. Yeah. That's the thing that when I have done speaker testing with manufacturers in the past, is what you think is going to sound good through this amp because it sounded good before with something else.
Yeah.
Invariably doesn't sound as good as you think it would, and then something that you didn't think would sound good ends up sounding better. But
I'm surprised.
I'm tired, man.
I'm tired.
Can I go home?
I'm really happy
bed.
that we did it. No, we need to do it on the video, Lee.
Oh, good.
So there we go. But anyway, thanks for watching. Comment below, please.
Yes.
Because this is very interesting.
Thank you, Celestion, by the way, for very generously sending the speakers through to us.
Yeah, that'd be good. And thanks for not sending any more.
Yes.
Because that would just a bit much.
See you later.